Hello everyone, here is Mr. Bakur and this is your first lesson in this course which I'm going to teach you how to read Arabic. In this lesson, I'm going to teach you the alphabet names. Pay attention, pay attention. I'm going to teach you the names of the alphabet. So I'm going to teach you the alphabet names, all right? Because later on, I'm going to teach you how to read these letters when we read a word or even a phrase. Well, before I get started, let me give you some instructions, some tips. In this lesson, I'm gonna say the letter and I give you time, I give you a chance to read it by yourself. Make sure that you repeat after me. Repetition will help you a lot in your improvement. All right? So I'm gonna read, I'm gonna say the letter and I give you time to say it by yourself. In Arabic, we have 28. We have 28 letters. We write Arabic from right to left. Therefore, we read Arabic from right to left. Okay, are you ready, guys? Let's get started to our alphabet. Our first letter is Alif. And this is how we write Alif. Alif. And this is how we say Alif. Again. I'm teaching you the alphabet names. Alif. Alif. All right? Alif. Alif. Okay, next. Ba. 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 Guys, I'm sorry, I forgot to give you time to repeat Alif. So now I will go back to Alif and I give you time to repeat Alif. Now get the microphone and repeat it. Good job. Next, ba. This is how we write ba. Ba. Look at my mouth. Look how I pronounce this letter. Ba. Now get the microphone and say it by yourself. Good job. Nice. I like your pronunciation of these letters. Good job. Okay, next. Ta. 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 Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Well done. Next. Tha. Tha. Pay attention. Just pay attention because we are on a very important letter. Tha. I'm going to teach you how you can pronounce this letter correctly. So, look at my mouse. When I say this letter, my tongue goes to the front teeth. Tha. Look at my mouth. Tha. Tha. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Okay, next. Jim. 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 Your time. Good job. Ha. Pay attention on this letter. Ha. I know this letter, maybe it doesn't exist in your language. So pay attention on this letter. Train yourself. Practice a lot. Ha. By the way, this letter is coming from your throat, middle of your throat. Ha. Ha. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Good job. Next. Next is quite hard, but after practicing a lot, you will come over with this letter. Kha. 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 Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Well done. Good job. Next. Dal. 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 Your turn. Well done. All right, next. The. Thal. Pay attention, guys. This letter, your mouth should go between the front teeth. The. Look at my mouth. The. Thal. Thal. Okay, next. Ra. I forgot again. So, let's go back to this letter. take the microphone and say it by yourself. Next, ra, ra, ra. Your turn. Next, zay, zay, zay. Your time. Seen, seen, seen. All right? Get the microphone. Your time. Well done. Sheen, sheen, sheen. Your turn. Sad, sad, sad. Your turn. Excellent. Dad, dad, dad. Get the microphone. Wow, very nice. Next. Ta, ta, ta. Grab the microphone and say it by yourself. Good job. Next. The, the. Guys, this is the third letter which your tongue should go to the front teeth. So how many letters we should make our tongue go to the front teeth? We got 3 letters in Arabic, and this is the letter number 3, the. Look at my mouse. Look how I say this letter. The. The. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Excellent. Ain, ain, ain. Guys, this letter is hard. I know it's hard, but as I keep telling you, after practice, after training, you will get this letter. You will say this letter correctly. So it's ain. And by the way, let me make it easier for you. This letter K comes from the middle of your throat. Ah, 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 ah. I know it's hard, but believe me, practice, practice, practice. Okay? So ain, ain. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. All right, before you get in the microphone and say it by yourself, let me just tell you that do not be shy. I think you're watching me behind the camera. You are alone. Do not be shy. Make sure that you take the microphone and say it. This will improve your pronunciation. This is how you're gonna learn Arabic. Hello everyone. So shall we continue our letters? Yeah, we're gonna go to continue our letters. So the last letter we stopped at, the last lesson is Ain. I'm sorry, Ain. Now let's move to Ghain. Ghain. This is how we write Ghain, Ghain, and this is how we say Ghain. Now get the microphone and say it by yourself. Good job. Next. Fa, fa, fa. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Good job. I like your pronunciation, by the way. Next. Qaf, qaf. By the way, this letter is heavy, heavy, strong. Qaf, qaf, qaf. Your turn. Good job. Next. Kaf. Kaf. So the previous one is heavy, but this one is light. Ka. You see my mouse? I'm showing you a little smile, mean this letter is light, ka. But the other one, the previous one is qa, there's no smile, qa. And this one is kaf, kaf. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Good job. Next. Lam, la, lam, lam. Your turn. Excellent. Meme, meme. Your turn. Bravo. Excellent. Noon, noon. Your turn. Excellent. Ha, ha. So by the way, I would like to mention that this ha sounds like house, home, horse, like H in English. Ha. So this one is easy for English speakers to pronounce. Ha. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Excellent. Next. Wow. 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 Yeah, go ahead. Bravo. And now we come to the last one. Yeah. Yeah. Grab the microphone and say the last one. Alright guys, good job. So we have finished the alphabet names, and now we're gonna go to another lesson. We're gonna go to another level. See you in the next lesson. Bye bye. This is the first true step to learn how to read Arabic. I taught you the alphabet names, and now I'm gonna give you the first step to start reading Arabic. In this lesson, I'm gonna teach you short vowels. Short vowels in Arabic is something very, very important to know. If you don't know what are these short vowels in Arabic, believe me, you will not learn how to read Arabic. So, let's not talk anymore. Let's get into our lesson, short vowels. So in Arabic, basically, we have three short vowels. Three short vowels. Short vowels in Arabic, we call them harakat. Harakat. Keep this word in your mind. Harakat. All right. So the first one is fatha. This is fatha. 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 I'm gonna say this word again. Fatha. So what does fatha mean? This fatha is basically a short line we put on the letter. To fatha in Arabic, that you're gonna open your mouth when you read this letter. Let me give you some examples. For alif, the first letter, when we have alif with fatha, we're gonna read alif like this. We will not say alif because I told you this is the name, but this is how we're gonna read alif in a word. If alif got fatha on, so this is fatha. This is a short line, and we draw it, we put it on the letter. Pay attention, pay attention. We draw it on the letter. Okay. Short vowel number 2. Kasra. Keep this word in your mind. Kasra. So what does kasra mean? Kasra looks like fatha, but the difference is we put it under the letter. Kasra. And kasra means in Arabic that you're gonna make your mouth, especially the lower part of your mouth, down like this. Like this. Kasra. I give you an example. For the second letter in Arabic is ba, with kasra is b. You see? B. 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 Okay, short vowel number 3. Dhamma. So dhamma basically looks like a small wow. Dhamma. And we put it on the letter. You have to make your lips rounded like this. Ooh, when you read the letter. Ooh. like this. I give an example, like Jim, this letter Jim with fatha, with dhamma. If we have dhamma on Jim, we have to make Jim like this. Ju. You see my mouse? Ju. Ju. So this is what I want to explain. Short vowels. Fatha, kasra, dhamma. Fatha, kasra, dhamma. Now, I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna let you listen to all letters with these short vowels. Coming up. Hello everyone, welcome. In this lesson, I'm gonna teach you how to read, how to say, how to pronounce all letters with the 3 short vowels. Pay attention, this lesson is very important step to read Arabic easily and to understand how we pronounce the letters. So, short vowels, as I told you in the previous lessons, we have 3 short vowels: Fatha, Kasra, and Dhamma. And in this lesson, I'm gonna show you each letter with these 3 short vowels. Ready? Get your paper and pen and pay attention here because you're gonna learn something very amazing and something new. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's get started with the first letter, Alif. Alif with fatha is A. Alif with kasra E. Alif with dhamma U. So A, E, U. A, E, U. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Okay, next. Ba, bi, bu. Again, ba, bi, bu. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Excellent. Next. Ta, ti, tu. Ta, ti, tu. Now get the microphone and say it by yourself. Excellent. Tha, thi, thu. By the way, if you have studied well the previous lecture, you will understand tha is one of these letters. Your tongue should go between your front teeth. Tha, thi, thu. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Ja, ji, ju. Again, ja, ji, ju. Now get the microphone and say it by yourself. Excellent. Ha, hi, hu. Again, ha, hi, hu. Your turn. Excellent. Kha, khi, khu. Kha, khi, khu. Kha, khi, khu. Now get the microphone and say it by yourself. Good job. Okay everyone, let's continue. We are on dal. Da, di, do. Da, di, do. Now your turn, get the microphone and say it by yourself. Excellent, good job. Now next, the, thu. So, if you paid attention on the last lesson, on the previous lesson, you will understand that that is one of these letters. Your tongue should go to the front teeth. Look at my mouse, the, thu. Your turn. Excellent. Ra, ri, ru. Your turn. Good job. Za, zi, zu. Your turn. Excellent. Amazing. By the way, I like your pronunciation. Your pronunciation is amazing. Next. Sa, si, su. Again. sa, si, su, sa, si, su. Your turn. Good. Sha, she, shu, sha, she, shu. Yes? Well done. Saw, si, su, saw. By the way, saw is a strong letter. Saw, si, su. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Amazing. Da, the. So dad, it might sound hard for some of you. Dog, da. So I want you to listen carefully to me how I'm pronouncing this letter. Da, da, the, do. Get the microphone and try to say this letter with the 3 short vowel correctly. Ta, ti, tu, ta, 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 ti, tu. Get the microphone and try to say this letter. Good job. The, thu. By the way, this is the last letter. Your tongue should go to the front teeth. The, thu. Your turn. A, I, au. A, I, au. Okay, amazing. Your turn. Good job. Next. Ra, ri, ru. Ra, ri, ru. Your turn. Excellent. Next. Fa, fi, fu. Fa, fi, fu. Your turn. I think after this lesson, you will got some muscles in your mouth. Amazing, amazing, good job. Next, qa, qi, qu. Your turn. Well done. Next, ka, ki, ku. So the previous one is strong letter and this one is light. Ka, ki, ku. Your turn. Next, la, li, lu. Next, ma, mi, mu. Now get the microphone and say this letter. Na, ni, nu. Your turn. Ha, he, who. Again, ha. So this one, I would like to mention, this one comes from you, like near to the chest. Ha, he, who. Your turn. Excellent. Wa, we, woo. Yes? Amazing. I can hear you, by the way. The last one, last but not least. Ya, ye, you. Ya, ye, you. Your turn. Wow, good job. Now in this lesson, we're gonna talk about something which many people were asking me about. This thing will help you a lot to understand how we read the Arabic language. Ready? Let's get started. So the thing we're gonna talk about is sukoon. Keep this word in your mind, sukoon. So what does exactly that sukoon mean? Sukoon means no movement. Again, no movement. The pure sound of the letter. Okay. So the shape of sukoon looks like a small circle. And pay attention that we draw this sukoon above the letter. Again, we put this sukoon above the letter. So this is in brief what does exactly sukoon mean. So to pronounce the letter with sukoon, you can add E letter in English before the letter, and then you will say the letter with before E. Let me give you some examples. Like sheen. Sheen with sukoon, you can add E at the beginning, and then it will sound like this. Ash. Ash. This is the pure sound of the letter as sukoon. Let me give you more examples, extra examples, like bat. So I'm gonna add E letter before, and then I will say ib, ib. Another letter, N, 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 ik, ik. So this is sukoon. This is what I'm talking about. In this lesson, I'm going to talk about ash-shadda. So ash-shadda, what does exactly this word, this definition mean? Ash-shadda means we got the letter duplicated. Yes. So instead of writing the letter 2 times, like sin and sin, sad and sad, kaf and kaf, we just mix these 2 letters in 1 letter, and then we draw shadda above. So, but there is something important to know here, that the first letter should sukoon letter, and the second letter fatha, dhamma, kasra. So the first letter should be sukoon, and the second letter should have one of these harakat, one of these short vowels. This is the condition of this rule, ash-shadda. Well, we got 3 types of shadda. Shadda with fatha, shadda with dhamma, and shadda with kasra. So we got 3 types of shadda. And now let me give you some examples to know more about this shadda and to know how we use shadda in reading words and phrases. So let me give example for harf al-sin, the letter sin, with shadda fatha. Issa. So we got sin, the first sin is sukoon sin, and the second one is fatha sin. But instead of writing sin sukoon and then sin fatha, we mix them together to make one letter with shadda. So issa. This is how we pronounce this letter with shadda. Issa. Let me give you an example, a word, bassa, bassa. So issa, issa. Another example for fatha with shadda, atta, atta. So here ta is duplicated. First ta is sukoon and the second ta with fatha, itta. Okay, let's go to shadda with kasra. Alright, idhi, idhi. So we got dal right here, and this is dal with shadda kasra. Idhi, idhi, ibbi, ibbi. Alright, now let's go to shadda with dhamma. Ikku, kaf duplicated. Ikku, 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 ishu, ittu. Well, this is shadda, and this is very important thing because while reading, you will find shadda in the context. So see you in the next lesson. Good job. In this lesson, we're gonna talk about an important definition in reading Arabic principles. We're gonna cover at-tanween. So what does exactly at-tanween mean? At-tanween basically simply means we add noon letter at the end of the word, and this process shows that the word is indefinite. The word we have added tanween to is indefinite word. If I would like to talk about definite articles, al, there is one definite article in Arabic, which is al, alif and lam. Let me give you an example. The word kitab means a book. So if I say al-kitab means the book, al-kitab. So here the definite article is al-kitab. Okay, let's go back to our topic, the at-tanween. So at-tanween indicates that the word is indefinite. So as I told you, we add noon at the end. Pay attention. I told you we gonna add noon at the end when we say, when we read, but when we write down, we don't add noon. We do not add noon. All right. So we got some types of tanween. Basically, we got three types of tanween. We got tanween fatha, and this is the shape of tanween fatha. We draw tanween fatha above the letter, always above alif. And we got tanween kasra. Basically, tanween kasra is two kasra, two short lines of kasra, and we draw it under the letter. And we got tanween dhamma. Tanween dhamma is two waw, and we draw it above the letter. And right now I'm gonna show you how we pronounce all these types of tanween. The first type of tanween is tanween fatha. I give you a word. Like our example here will focus on the word kitab. Kitab means a book. So we got kitaban, 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 and this is how we read it. Look at the word and read it after me. Kitaban, ban. This is tanween fatha. Okay, get the microphone and read this word by yourself. Excellent. Okay, next. Now we're gonna go to tanween kasra. This is how we say tanween kasra. Kitabin, kitabin. Get the microphone and say it by yourself. Amazing. Good job. Okay, now last but not least, tanween dhamma. Kitabun, kitabun. Try to say it by yourself. Okay, so I would like to mention that all these types of tanween means a book. Alright? So this is about tanween. Hello everyone and welcome. In this lesson I'm going to show you something very important to help you to read Arabic easily. So by the way, in Arabic, each letter in Arabic, when we connect these letters together, the letters shapes, I'm talking about letter shapes, change a little bit. And in this lesson I'm going to show you this change. So coming up. So in Arabic, each letter, when we connect it in a word, when we put this letter in a word, the shape of the letter, it changes according to the position of the letter. What does it mean? What that mean? It means that we got three positions in Arabic. We got at the beginning, in the middle, at the end. And the letter shape changing according to the position. In this lesson, I'm going to show you all these positions and how does the shape of the letter change according to the position. So let's get started with the first letter, alif. By the way, before I get started with alif, in Arabic we got different alif. We got alif without hamza, what we call it alif wasl or hamzat wasl, and we got alif with hamza, what we call it, this is what we call it hamzat qata. So I'm gonna show you these types in this lesson. Alright, so let's get started with alif without hamza, beginning, in the middle, at the end. Look carefully how these shapes are different. You can get your paper and pen and write down these shapes by yourself. This will help you a lot to recognize this letter while you're reading Arabic. Alright, let's go to alif with Hamza, Alif Qat. So we got Alif, Hamza, this Hamza, it might come on the top of Alif and sometimes it come under the Alif. And I'm gonna show you both type right here. So let's start with Alif, Hamza on the top. This is the shapes of Alif, Hamza on the top, beginning, middle, at the end. Did you get the difference? All right, now let's go to Alif, Hamza on under, beginning, middle, at the end. Did you get the difference? All right, now let's go to Ba. Ba beginning, Ba middle, Ba at the end. Try to keep them by your heart. This will help you easily to recognize what letter is this while you're reading Arabic. Now let's go to Ta. Ta beginning, Ta middle, Ta at the end. By the way, Ba and Ta are the same shapes. Alright, now let's go to Tha. Tha beginning, Tha middle, Tha at the end. Alright, Jim. Jim beginning, Jim middle, Jim at the end. So we have Jim and the next one is Ha. Jim and Ha are the same. I'm talking about the shapes of this letter, beginning, middle, at the end. They are same, but the main difference is the letter itself. But when we write these two letters, beginning, middle, at the end, they are the same in changes. So we continue. Kha. Kha beginning, Kha middle, Kha at the end. So Jim, Ha and Kha, these three letters are sharing the same changing. Alright? Okay, let's go to the next letter. Dal. Dal beginning, Dal in the middle, Dal at the end. So if I'm talking about at the end position, this is how Dal connected with the letter before. Dal. Dal. Dal beginning, Dal middle, Dal at the end. So Dal and Dal, these two letters are sharing the same changes. But I think that the only difference between Dal and Dal is the dot above. Okay, did you keep these shapes in your mind? Well, let's go to the next one. Ra. Ra at the beginning, Ra in the middle, and Ra at the end. Good? Good? Alright, next. Zay. Zay beginning, Zay in the middle, Zay at the end. Ra and Zay are sharing the same changes. Okay, next. Sin. So we got Sin, and then Sheen, and then Sin, Sheen, Sad, Dad. These letters are sharing the same differences when we connect them with letters before or after. So now we have Sin. Sin beginning, Sin in the middle, and Sin at the end. Now Sheen. Sin, Sheen, Sheen with 3 dots. Sheen with 3 dots. Sheen beginning, Sheen in the middle, Sheen at the end. Okay, next. Sad. Sad beginning, Sad in the middle, Sad at the end. Good? Alright, next. Dad. Dad. Dad beginning, Dad in the middle, Dad at the end. Right, next. Ta. Ta beginning, Ta in the middle, and Ta at the end. Next. Dha. ضاء beginning, ضاء middle, ضاء at the end. Well, ta and dha, they are very similar. The thing that they are like different in is the dot, only dot. Okay, next, ayn and ghayn. These two letters are similar, ayn and ghayn. The main difference is the dot. Okay, so we got ayn and ghayn, and let's start with ayn. Of course, we're gonna start in ayn because it's before in the order. Okay, so ayn beginning, ayn in the middle, ayn at the end. Let's go to the sister of ayn, ghayn. Ghayn beginning, middle, at the end. Try to keep these shapes in your mind. Okay, now next, fa. Fa beginning, middle, at the end. Fa beginning, middle, at the end, these positions are similar. There is no big difference here. Okay, qaf. Qaf beginning, middle, at the end. This is qaf. Let's go to the light sister of qaf, which is kaf. Kaf, you see? I showed you a little smile. This is how I pronounce it. Kaf. Kaf. Okay. So this is kaf beginning, middle, at the end. Kaf, it might look hard for some of you. I know it's hard. Kaf. So try to practice writing kaf a lot. It will help you. Okay, now lam. So this letter lam, I want you to pay attention because lam, it might look like alif. I'm talking about shapes. When we connect alif and lam in a word, these two letters might look very similar. So try to understand the differences here. Try to know the difference here between lam and alif. Okay, so this is lam beginning, middle, at the end. Mim. Mim beginning, mim in the middle, mim at the end. All right, now noon. Noon beginning, noon middle, noon at the end. Let's go to ha. So this one ha, it's hard. I know it's hard. It's even hard for Arabs. So focus more, pay attention more, try to use extra energy to memorize this letter. Ha. This is ha beginning, ha in the middle, ha at the end. Wow. Let's go to wow. Wow beginning, middle, at the end. And now, last but not least, ya. Ya beginning, ya middle, ya at the end. Alright, at this point we come to the end of our lesson. See you in the next lesson. مع السلامة.